Namaste. As we all know, 8th of March is observed as International Women's Day, and Thought Habitat would like to go a step further and celebrate the first week of March as International Women's Week. And to do this, we are interviewing some accomplished women who are entrepreneurs, activists, and achievers by large. Our guest today is an accomplished women entrepreneur. Her brand, Myra Footwear, is more focused on sustainability and veganism. Moreover, her brand believes in giving back to the society and giving the right dues to the poor Indian artisans. And there we have Myra Agarwal, the founder of Myra Footwear. Myra, thank you so much for joining with us today.
I'm so glad to be here. And I'm super excited to do this with you. Thank you so much for choosing me to do this.
It is our pleasure to do this. So, Myra, I am jumping on to my first question. As you know, sustainability is the buzzword in today's world. How did you manage to couple it with your brand ethos? And you do say that veganism is also partial veganism is also part of your brand. Would you like to
Yes,
explain about that?
sure. So I don't think sustainability is something that just because it's popular today, I chose it as a part of my ethos because also the brand has been in the building for about 2 years now. It took me almost 2.5 years to get it here. And also, we have practiced sustainability in our family ever since the beginning. It's not a concept that struck me when I wanted to start my brand. The brand had to be ethical because it had to represent who I am as a person, right? So I try to be sustainable as much as I can. For example, I use leather scraps to make shoes out of them and donate because leather is not good for the environment at the end of it, right? So we use the leather scraps that goes either to the water bodies or something, and we use those scraps actually to make shoes out of them. And coming on to your other question, that's like partial veganism. It's only partial because we do use real leather scraps to make shoes. So that's the only reason. Otherwise, we do make full vegan shoes as well. That's
Jumping on to my next question. Could you define the one challenge that struck you from moving ahead? And as you were explaining before, that it took 2 years for you to build this brand. And
well.
and I'm sure as a accomplished entrepreneur so far, you would have broken the chain somehow and moved ahead. Would you like to define such a moment in your life?
Sure. I mean, there are multiple challenges. It like when it comes to a women entrepreneur and starting their own businesses. To start with, like nobody will take you seriously, especially if you're educated or like something. They'll be like, "Oh, you've come from outside." Oh, like so. I did my college at FIT New York, and when I came back and I visited these local vendors, they were like, "Oh, this is such a foreign concept. This will never work here." Like those, those typical comments you hear. So that's one of them. And then when it comes to the vendors, I had a really hard time finding a manufacturer that can work with my ethos. Like I wanted sustainable local vendors who would go and give the practices I need them to, right? At the end of it, I want a sustainable brand and a more conscious one in every way, like empowering local suppliers, buying leather from a good vendor instead of just a cheap vendor who's not practicing the right practices. So these things were really challenging. And at the end of it, I think I met about 20 vendors before I worked with one. So it was a very tiring process altogether. But I mean, I feel pretty good today that I finally found the one to work with. Yeah.
That's quite a journey, though. And
Also,
yeah,
the industry.
identifying vendors is a big deal for any.
Also, the industry is very male dominated, so they are gonna cut you left, right, and center because they're gonna give you pricing that is not right because they think you're a women entrepreneur, you don't know enough or something. So yeah, you have to face these challenges. But when you overcome them today, they're going to be like, good, finally.
Okay. And my next question is, giving local talent the rightful dues is your motto, right? Would you like to share more about that? As you say, it is a male dominated society, and obviously, the artisans mostly are going to be men, right? And also, the footwear industry is really, we don't have like what we have in the textile industry when it comes to footwear, right? So, giving all this together, how did you manage to build a sustainable brand out of it? And yet you manage to give the rightful dues to the poor artisans, and you have a concept of giving back to the society. Would you like to share more about that?
Sure. So, having studied outside and living there for 2 years, 6 years, and then worked there for 2 years, I realized the payment we get as like startup workers, and I was like in the top of the line job. I was working for a French company for 2 years in New York after my graduation. I realized how much they pay us. They're paying really good. And being from the northern India, especially from Jaipur, I see how the leather people are paid, how underpaid they are for the things they provide us. Like the kind of wages you give them is nothing. It's not even worth one dinner of a normal person.
Exactly.
So I was like, why don't I get back and actually pay these people what they deserve and get something good out of them? So then they enjoy working with me and I enjoy working with them. It's a give and take relationship at the end of it. And it's also because I give an idea, okay, this is the kind of shoe I want. Who is the one getting it for me, making it for me? The technicality is not something I have done. I studied advertising and marketing communications, nowhere related to footwear design or technical issues of it. The person who's handling that is not even getting paid enough. He won't give me what I need then. So that's what I believed in. And I saw how unfair it is. Like after comparing from outside world, it was just not something I believed in, and just wanted to pay them better in general and make them work happier, right? If they are happy, then my business will be much more smoother than it is.
That's quite thoughtful of you. And my last question, Myra. So you would have thought of a roadmap. So it's been 2 years of a tiresome journey for you, and finally there you have the brand well established,
Yeah.
right? And going forward, what's the roadmap for your business? And how do you see the footwear industry in India, especially if a startup or a company that is coming up with a tag of sustainability, how are they going to persist in the market going
Well,
forward?
today I'm not 100% sustainable, but my each day is I want to get more sustainable than I was yesterday. That is the goal, and to move forward with it is I know the world is also moving towards sustainability as much as we can. So today I changed my packaging to 100% sustainable packaging now. I want to get sustainable every day more and more, to a point where I'm 100% sustainable and I can get that out. So until I'm there, I will not rest. So that's one of the major goals of my brand. And then also the goal towards like the future is how I can get more local artisans and build a whole community of them and get their designs out as well. It's not only my design, I want them to showcase what they have as well. They're so technical, they're so good at what they do. Like I wish you came to a factory and you saw what they actually make. There are things they use from like waste we've left with shoe waste. They'll make something really cool out of it. So the kind of things they do, I want them to move forward as well. So this is one of the main goals for the future. Yeah.
That's great. And would you like to give one advice to women entrepreneurs like you? So, as you said, you have the exposure of working in New York for a French footwear brand,
Yeah.
right? But whereas someone who's coming from a girl who's coming from a very mediocre background, in India, in a small village or a hamlet in India, wouldn't really get the exposure that you get and wouldn't possibly think of sustainability and all those when it comes to it. But yet, as you just rightly said, still they try to do something out of the scraps. Still try to do something out of waste. And yet, many of them go unnoticed, right? So, what is that one advice would you like to give for all such struggling women entrepreneurs who are trying to make it big?
Honestly, be persistent, be sure of what you want, and do not listen to anyone. Like there are times your family might question what you're doing, but just be persistent and you're going to get there. Because it is really hard for all of us in general, most of us actually. And seeing my friends also, seeing people around me also, if they want to start something, people will stop them in some way or the other. There are hurdles, but if you're persistent, you are going to get through it for sure, because after a point nobody can stop you if you're just persistent. So yeah, I
Absolutely
think
right.
that.
And it's quite inspiring to see women like you emerging out of nowhere and making it big, and also bringing up new ethos to the Indian industry, wherein you're really redefining the entire market. Disruption would be a negative word, but redefining is and revitalizing is the word that we should be using. We would like
That's
to see more from Myra Footwear. And yes, if at all you make footwear for men under Myra Footwear, I should definitely have one.
we're coming up with a men's line very soon actually, so I might
That's
just
great. That's great. I would like to have one soon.
so glad to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you, Myra. It was a great discussion with you.
Thank you so much,
And
Arvind.
all the best for your future.
Thank you.